creation myth of this country. Notwithstanding what we were taught and trained as children with the creation myth of this country. Notwithstanding what we deserve, we are not a functioning democracy. So the plank before you is an acknowledgement that there is no democracy to take back. We must create one. And I appreciate the fact that we are in this august space, but I am not a founder fetishist. Because I think it's important that we acknowledge and honor and lift up the rejection of monarchy as a form of rule. That's good. Boston Tea Party, nonviolent civil disobedience aimed at the collusion between the corporate East India Corporation and government. That's good. The codification of the enslavement of Africans. The clear, explicit claim that women are not persons. The clear and explicit exploitation and oppression of white working class males. I reject those. And we have to do that too. So the next thing I want to lift up is this platform plank, and in fact the entire platform plank is coming to you from people who have an acknowledgement and recognition that the meta problems are the creation of white supremacy, the reality of empire as a way to construct and steal resources from other people, the existence of patriarchy and an effort to exploit women and workers. So the plank before you is merely a beginning of our effort to attempt to democratize elections and democratize the United States of America. I want to point out, as a lawyer, the United States Constitution is the supreme law of the land. Well, folks, if it is true that this land is fundamentally racist, sexist, and class oppressive, and that is true, see, if these things are true, then maybe we need to start thinking and acting differently than we have been. I think it's amazing that we're living in a moment where people are actually recognizing that you don't either do elections or social movement work. You know, in the global South, they're way ahead of us. They don't make that artificial distinction. And you know why I think in the global South, Central and Latin America, Africa, North Africa, the Middle East, Asia, you know why I think that their movements are ahead of us? Is because they don't make any bones about the fact that they're against empire. They don't make any bones about the fact that they are going to use every tool available to them to engage transformational change. That is what we must commit to today. That is what I believe this platform plank is beginning to move us to. So the thing that I want to underscore, folks, is yes, these are very concrete improvements to the existing electoral system. The existing electoral system is like Disneyland for democracy. You get to go on little rides, right? You get in line, you do what they tell you to do, you go on a ride that goes round and round and round, but then you get off the ride and you're in the same damn place you were when you started from. I like that line, I'm going to use that. It really did just come to me. But here's the point I'm making, friends. We are talking about concrete changes that are obtainable, that are tangible, that are steps on the road. Now, I'm going to be right straight up. I was very pleased that the We the People amendment calling to abolish all corporate constitutional rights and money of speech is in this platform. Right? Does anybody believe that we had a functioning democracy before Citizens United? Hands? Hands? Right? But the reality is, I don't believe that we had a functioning democracy in 2009, so overturning one Supreme Court decision ain't going to get it done. Right? We need systemic change. We need transformational change. We got to take on white supremacy and patriarchy and empire. And an amendment, as great as it is one step. Because I'm going to go even further, friends, and I'm going to tell you this. The movement I'd like to be part of, the one that I want to be part of, I want, about 5-10 years into this, that folks come to me and say, hey, thank you, Daniel Lee, thank you, Johannes Epker, thank you, Fran Lee, and thank you, David Cobb, for this We the People amendment and move to men, but you jokers weren't thinking visionary enough. We need a whole new Constitution. Woo! Constitution, which definitely is not sufficient, protects property rights, not human rights. And it does not even contain the ability to imagine the interconnectedness that we have with one another, never mind Mother Earth. So I stand before you as an unapologetic, nonviolent revolutionary who can say, I can get down with this planet. I can roll with this planet. Because this planet is concrete, it's specific, but it does not pretend for a moment that it's enough. It is the beginning of a process. And that's what we are asking of you, my colleagues at Move to Mend, ask you to join with us in a democracy movement. Right? And you know how I know that something is happening? Is because people are starting to talk about a democracy movement. See, I've been part of the women's movement. I've been part of the anti-racist movement. I've been part of the global justice movement. I've been part of the environmental movement. I've been part of a lot of these movements, all of which I'm very proud of, that were around constituencies or issues. But I am for the first time beginning to hear people talk about a democracy movement. The idea that our movement is about power. You know, the issues matter. We have to fight for those issues, and we may have some disagreements, and that's okay. We can respectfully disagree and still be in the same current on our various issues. But at the end of the day, something profound and magical is happening because a democracy movement is emerging in the United States. We almost never get the opportunity to experience what that means because the word democracy comes from Greek. Demos, the people. Kratia, rule or power. The people rule. How many of y'all believe we the people are ruling the United States? Actually, we have more power than we dare to believe. We are far more powerful. The problem is our power as individuals is almost meaningless. I got 2 minutes left. Our power as individuals is almost meaningless. Only by organizing, collectivizing together can we actually exert that power. Don't believe the corporate media. Don't believe the two-party system. Don't allow them to vaunt and fetishize individualism. Let us come together and cooperate collectively together and exert the power that we actually already genuinely have. We can do this. We got this. I stand before you recognizing that this plank is not perfect. I recognize that there are things that need to be added, tweaked, but I stand before you urging you to support this plank as the beginning of a process to democratize elections, to democratize the United States of America. Last point. We do need a revolution. We need a political revolution. Political revolutions cannot be run, R-U-N, in one election cycle. They cannot be won, W-O-N, by one candidate, no matter how good that candidate is. A real political revolution requires a level of commitment, a level of political education and consciousness, and at the end of the day, we come together. Whatever it is that inspires you, find other people to inspire and be inspired by now. And I want to lift up my good friend, Head Rock, the mayor of DC Hip Hop, who says, if you want to change your situation, you better join an organization. Peace.